Well, what we see today, whites are promoting as, the natural order of things, or something that's good. And unfortunately, a lot of black women have fell for this trick. They fell for this trap. And they are seeing the ramifications of that decision to go along with this dysfunction. If there is no man in their life, and that means they are having to pretend to be the man. That right there in itself is unnatural. If there is no man in their lives, somebody has to take care of the children. So you have about 40% of the women, black women today, allow the government to take care of their children because, like I said, somebody has to take care of the children. Somebody has to be the man. So in this regard, the government becomes a man, and the government dictates what happens in the household. And then you have the other 60% who decide to go out and be the man and provide for the family and work, for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours to make a living. But that means that for 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours each day, 5, 6, or 7 days a week, the children, somebody has to raise the children. Just like somebody has to financially take care of the children, somebody has to raise the children. That's just the law of nature. So if the mother is not there, if the black mother is not there raising the children, someone is going to raise the children for her. So either the children are going to raise themselves, which you see a lot when it comes to gang members and people, children that are out there doing stuff they ain't got no business doing. The television has raised, 4 generations of children, black children, or people on the streets are raising black children because mothers are not there to do that raising, at the house. So it's the other part is that with with black women being tricked by white women into thinking that they don't need a man, well, that means that children did not have that part of the education that comes from the male part of the couple. There are certain and specific things that the black male was sent here to teach black children, specifically black males. And without a black male in that family, in that household, then those things cannot be taught to that black male or those black children. So they end up with this big chunk of their education missing. And with so many blacks over the past 4 generations teaching black children about white history, fictitious or not, and not teaching the children about black history, these children have a huge chunk of their history, where they come from, that is just missing in their lives until they come across, a teacher or someone that starts to expose them to that. But it is the mother's job to make sure that black children understand where they come from. And unfortunately, many black women, many black mothers have been tricked into avoiding or just not doing that teaching that is necessary. I have black mothers who are not even, they're in the bed when their children go off to school. Many of them have no idea what their children is doing to prepare for education for that day. Many children get up in the morning, have some cereal, get dressed, and they watch TV until they have to go out the door to school. And that's a time that is missed. That's a teaching time. These are the things that I want you to pay attention to today. When children get home from school, many of them go straight from getting undressed, getting something to eat, and getting in front of the TV. And so once again, you have the TV raising black children while the mother is in her room, probably watching stories or whatever she's doing, or not at the house at all. She's out there being the man and doing the role of the man by working and providing for the family. So, it's along the way from school. Children will run into other people in the community, and different things will, come across their little lives, and they need to be able to go home and ask their mothers, ask their fathers, what does this mean? Is this true? What do I do about this? Somebody said that. That's an education time. That's an education opportunity that many parents, black parents today, completely miss. And when you think about how much out of their children's lives black males actually miss, it's really sad. And when they decide that they don't need a man and that they are going to play the role of the man and go out and work and provide for the family, black women, black mothers, they miss 8, 10, and 12 hours out of their children's lives. By the time they get home, they're exhausted, and they simply go to sleep, which means they miss more time. And it's become a huge dysfunction in the black community. But we're using this initiative to help black women understand, what went wrong, why it's continuing, and how to fix it. So the first solution that they're going to have to deal with, first and foremost, is making sure from this point on that those children know their father's last name, know their father's last name, making sure that they sit down with these children and go back to some of those ugly times, go back to some of those skeletons, some of those closets, and open up some of that stuff and actually, honestly and truthfully, let that child know, this is what I'm working on. I'm working on our family lineage chart. I'm going to be working on the paternal chart, which means I'm going to be following the name line and the bloodline of my father. And I'm going to be doing a maternal chart, and I'm going to be following the name line and the bloodline of my mother. And there's going to be some things that come up that may not be too pleasant. There's going to be some things that come up that, somebody didn't tell you the truth about, or that I can tell you the truth about. And we're going to deal with those truths now because we are about to be a part of the reparations fight. And as such, there's some things that we just have to do as black people, as a black community, as a black family. And so, it's going to be difficult for children. But it is these mothers that must make the decision. Now, if the father is detrimental to the children and say he was abusive or to the mother or abusive to the children, whatever, well, no, you don't want that father back in that home to cause more damage. But you do want to make sure that those children at least know who he is, know his last name, know his father's last name, his mother's last name. And if the black females don't know these things, it's easy enough to find out. I mean, if you have a black male, and you now have a lot of situations because of the entertainment industry, or white-controlled entertainment industry, where blacks are programmed and taught to have sex with, any male or any female without even knowing anything but their first name or their nickname. So, you can literally have a child. A black male can have a child with a woman and only know her by her nickname. Don't even know what her first name or her last name is. That's a problem. A woman can have a child by a black male and not know, anything but his nickname or his street name. And she don't know his first name. She don't know his last name. She don't know where he lives. She don't know where she don't know his mother's name. She don't know his father's name. So the dysfunction that is occurring is getting to the point where 10 years from now, these children being born now will have no idea of where their lineage chart broke off or how to repair it.